Hello and welcome back. This is the Gamer 2.0. Today we're going to be continuing on with Thousand Arms. Alright, so I have to run back and actually grind a little bit more MP, and we should have enough to actually finish out upgrading all the characters with level 6 of Natalia's abilities and spells. Haven't seen any special abilities from her yet. I don't know if it's going to be something for one of the girls, possibly one for Soshi or Musa. Hopefully it's not something for Soshi or Musa, just because theirs is like 7,000 by themselves, just to like upgrade their weapons. And really don't want to have to deal with that. But so we're just gonna go back out here. We're just gonna do a little bit of grinding. I don't need to grind too much, just because no one's really leveled up all that much since the last time we upgraded everyone's weapons to actually match the level. Of course, that can change during grinding, but I hope it doesn't, just because yeah, we're all the characters now in the 70s when it comes to like their levels. So yeah, it's gonna get to the point at some point where we hit max level and I won't have to worry about EXP at all. But I hope that I'm actually not still doing dates by that time. It doesn't look like there's any more girls after Natalia, just because the entire list of girls is completely filled up when it comes to Smoochie and like turning in your fists and stuff.
Golda!
Which, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I could possibly run back and check on the axe and see how the axe is doing. Because even running through that whole thing shouldn't really require too much XP gain, just because that's like a really low level area. So even if I do like a bunch of fights, I should get like some MP. It's not going to be a lot, but I should be able to get some MP and be able to run back there and check on the weapon. Because it's been a little while since we actually were back there. Well, luckily we are getting 3 enemies at a time here, so...
Flario!
Although this is a little bit more XP, this is also far more MP. Alright, already over at 1,000, so should be good. To level up, I think it was Bison Sodina, who still needed to level up their equipment with Natalia. So I kind of feel like summons are finally doing far more damage than... And that's a level up. Oh, it's for Myosin, someone I'm already getting a level, or getting an upgrade for. But the problem there is that probably just raise it up to 1,000. just to now upgrade it and give him Natalia's spell. Alright, well I'm gonna run back. We're gonna exit Miss Antonia and actually travel back, check on the weapon status, because it's been a while. We've gotten Natalia from level 1 to level 6. Done multiple dates, multiple just grinding out MP, so should be good, hopefully, and should finally be able to use the weapon. Alright, well that's Kylene with a level up. To be honest, I'm like more interested in the weapon for Nelsha more than anyone else. Alright, so let's warp to Lucid Cave. Alright, quickly run to the end of this, see how the weapon's doing. Hopefully it's finished finally. So one thing I can say is I do kind of wish that Intimacy level kind of played a little bit more into like buffing character stats for like my Soshi, Musa, depending on like their level of intimacy with individual girls. What I mean by that would be like so as you level up something like Sodina. Sodina's kind of an easy one because as you get more intimacy levels with her, it increases the character with that intimacy level, increases their health, so that way they get more like bonus health. Whereas someone like Lena would be probably like strength or like physical damage. Just things like that. I think that would be a little bit more interesting because like that would actually give a little bit more of an incentive other than just like, well, they give you spells, they give you abilities. It's like, well, they also increase how powerful that character is. So if you want to try to get all the characters up to really high intimacy, then you actually get more of a benefit out of it than just, well, they have access to the spells, and then it also kind of gives you a passive ability as well, where it's like, well, with intimacy level 10 for Sodina, you have, I don't know, 10% more health, or 100% more health, because that specific character increases your life. And then you could do things for like the non-party girls get different abilities or different specials, or even make it so that they're the ones that give the spells, and the girls in your party actually just give you like stat buffs. I mean, like, kind of gives a reason to interact with the girls outside the party a little bit more, just because like as I kind of mentioned before, like I never beat this game before. I got to the point where I had recruited Nelsha into the party, I believe. And then after that, I mean, I hadn't really I'd gotten nowhere after that. So I didn't even know that Palma was in the language that you could possibly go on a date with her. Just because she doesn't even look like a standout kind of character where she's, you know, different than all the other priestesses in that specific area. She just kind of looks like she's supposed to be just another priestess, because even if you go and you talk to all the other priestesses, they don't have like the anime character. They don't have or the anime sprite. They don't have a specific real dialogue. And Palma is the only one, just because I was running around just literally talking to every single character. And Palma is the only one that actually is a dateable character out of that group. So I would say, like, if you were able to go through and actually find each of the characters, I think it would be a little bit more interesting to have spells based on the characters in the towns versus spells for the characters that you get in the party. Because I mean, like, the girls that are out in the towns, they have specific elements too. And of course I went the wrong way. So yeah, they have specific elements too, so it's not like they are like completely like out of what the party offers. And I mean, like, I guess it would kind of make sense to have both sides be able to do that, but I mean, when they give you like the same spells, it kind of ruins a little bit of the individuality of all the characters. Just because if you get Kylina to level 10, she gives you the same spells like as she's leveling up as Natalia, because they're both wind, then I mean, what was the point of getting both of them leveled up? Whereas if it's like, well, Kylina increases Mysa's speed, Musa's speed, or Soshi's speed, depending on who's like interacting with them more. Well, it's a little bit more reflective of, well, you know, this person's spending time with them, so like they're getting more of the benefit out of the relationship with them than someone else. Again, don't get me wrong, like I think the game is quite good. The mechanics are interesting, and the characters all are pretty fun and have a lot of their own specific quirks and things like that. But I do just wish that there was like a little bit more differentiation between the different female characters, rather than just, well, they have different elements and they give you different spells, but other than that, they're very, very interchangeable. But I think they kind of really hammered it home a little bit better when it came to games like Persona, things like that, where you have like the character links, where it actually powers up. So like every character has like their own character link, even if it's not like a potentially dateable character. They all have character links that, you know, provide different benefits, different buffs, different bonuses. And I think that that's really good. I just wish that they would have been able to kind of do it with this game. Again, with the PlayStation 1, it is quite limited. The game is already 2 discs long, so it's not like it is a short game. But I do think that if there was like the opportunity to kind of give a little bit more, being able to separate a lot of the characters out, I think would have been a little bit more interesting than just kind of like the way that they have it now. Alright. Is the weapon finally done? I guess not, because I mean, it's still just calling it the Rusty Axe. Let's see here. But I mean, it looks pretty bright. I guess it's not done yet. Still. So I'm guessing this is based on in-game time more than it is fights, because if it was just fights, I mean, I've been grinding out a lot of MP, and that's required some fights. I mean, I guess I don't really need specific weapons just because I mean, like, I don't really need these specific weapons just because, like, none of the background characters ever actually come into the fight, really. Except when, like, I get unlucky, my suit's put underneath a status effect that back row kind of can't deal with. Vice gets knocked out, and then at that point, basically, the enemy's probably doing, like, a full party damaging attack, so it's kind of already snowballing out of control at that point. So even if, like, they do come up, they don't really typically have the health to really kind of continue the fight. And I definitely feel that at this point, my characters might be really over leveled. Just because I'm trying to get all the different girls up to max intimacy so that I can get all the different spells. Even ones that are weaker versions than the regular spell that they already have, but I mean, sometimes you just want a single character to have wall rather than every character. I'm also kind of interested to see if there's any, like, special abilities or anything that I can get for any of the other girls. Or even for Mice. Well, Mice doesn't really get special abilities, he only gets summons. But I'm kind of interested to see what happens if you do get all the girls up to max intimacy. Because games like Persona 5, things like that, like they have special events and special, like, occurrences if you, like, romance every single girl that you could possibly romance in the game. That's also Atlas, so I don't know if it's going to be similar or not, but I'm kind of interested to see, like, what they did, especially when it comes back to, like, the old PS1 games and, like, what they decided to do with it. If they gave it multiple endings or not. To what extent those multiple endings go. If it's just, like, small mentions here or there. Just kind of, like, what exactly they're looking to kind of display for the ending of the game. I don't know if you, like, because it kind of seems like Sodina is, like, the main girl that Mice is supposed to end up with, and Wita's, like, the main girl that Musa ends up with, that kind of stuff. I don't know if Mice can actually romance Wina away from Musa, or if something else happens to where maybe Musa then goes for a different girl or something like that. Also don't know if there's different interactions based on who has the highest intimacy. So, like, when Mina's, like, talking to Musa at the top of the tower in front of the moon, I don't know if he actually gets the nerve to actually, like, officially, like, ask her to be his girlfriend or something if Mice's relationship with her is low, like level 1 or something like that. But if it's high, maybe Wina only talks about Mice, and there isn't really a chance for Musa to kind of get in there with his feelings. I don't know. Again, I haven't actually gotten to that point ever before. To be honest, like, I think the last thing that I remember from my previous time playing the game was being on the first airship. And after the first airship, like, that's like the last time I remember like anything significant happening. I do remember getting Nelsha into the party, because I remember her changing her clothes to, like, have special abilities and stuff. But I actually don't remember, like, getting to that point. I'm not sure if like the game has like a randomized element to it, where it's like you get specific characters, or you get different characters at specific times. So, because I remember the fight on the Langood from the first time I played. I remember all of that, like going to the volcanic rock and all that stuff. But when Sodina gets captured, for some reason, I remember it being Nelsha there, as like a person that joins the party. Like at that time, and like she was like fighting on the airship. But again, I could just be misremembering, because it was what, 7-8 years ago. Like it was a while ago, so it's like this was not a recent trek to the game. So I do kind of not remember like a lot of the finer points. But I do kind of wish that some games would have a little bit more of like a randomness to them, where it's like, yeah, you like if you want, you can set like a specific, like I guess like seed for the game, where there's like random stuff that happens at specific points, but like the characters that you meet, or the allies that you get, or the enemies that you fight can change based on like a random element. Because even things like games like Pokemon, I think would actually kind of work well with that, because you can basically kind of have it set up to where you go through like gym battles, and the actual gym leader could possibly be different based on what random element seed that you got. So there could be, for example, there's a gym leader for like every element. So like fire, water, ice, grass, dragon, fairy, and you have 8 of them. But the 8 elements that you actually get are random to your specific game or your specific seed. And I think that would be a little bit more interesting, because even if you fought, for example, like the rock gym, if you fought them at the first set, they would have a completely different team than if you fought them at the 8th set. So like you would always have like something that's different, and you wouldn't necessarily have like the exact same experience if you chose to like start the game over and start the game in a new format. You could also make it to where the random Pokemon battles that you get into the overworld, those stay static. So like you always get the same sets of Pokemon. So it's like, okay, well, I've got like a set of Pokemon here that makes it a little bit more difficult to actually do this gym fight, because this gym fight is the rock gym, but all the Pokemon that I get on this route are normal or flying type. Which is kind of similar how to the original Red and Blue one, where a lot of the stuff that you get before the actual first gym doesn't really help you a lot versus the first gym, unless you do like specific stuff. So like, because you could go and you could grab like Nidoran and give it double kick, which is like the only special or the only super effective move that you can really like get before you actually get to the first gym, if you chose like a starter like Charmander, because Charmander doesn't really ever give you a lot of good benefit until you actually hit the 4th gym when it comes to typing. So like you kind of have to like make do with like a lot of the other Pokemon that you can get, so that way you're not just kind of SOL just in general, because I mean you can get unlucky and just like not be able to do much against the first gym, just because you've got a fire type Pokemon. Well, the fire type Pokemon is weak to rock, doesn't do very much damage against rock, and so like that Brock fight for the very first gym can be kind of difficult. And I mean, I think that's kind of good, because even if you go into the second gym, the fight with Misty, well, Charmander's also weak there. So it's like, okay, well now I need to rely on more of the other elements of my team rather than just, well, go with the starter that's, effective against that and just kind of bully my way through. So if you go with something like Bulbasaur is good versus like the first 3 gyms because it doesn't take super effective damage against rock. It deals super effective damage back. It doesn't take super effective damage against water. It actually resists it and deals super effective damage back. When you get to Lieutenant Surge, it doesn't take super effective damage against from Lieutenant Surge because if I remember correctly, grass resists electricity, so I think it's actually like a resist. So you actually take less damage from the primary types of attacks. There, when you get to the grass gym, again, you're not getting hit for super effective for grass type. And if you've already evolved Bulbasaur into Venusaur, you can actually deal super effective damage back to the 4th gym with poison type attacks. So I mean, you have like a much easier time based on the starter that you pick. Again, don't get me wrong, like the game does have its own set of challenges and stuff, but I do think that if it was to randomize out, like, alright, so you pick Charmander, but you happen to get the seed where you actually do the Erica battle first. I think that would be like a little bit more interesting because then you're like, oh, okay, so I actually don't have the more difficult time doing this fight. Because it's, that just happened to give me the randomness of the Erica first. Just things like that. I think that would like do the Pokemon games a little bit more of a service. Make them feel a little bit more, how would I say, a little bit more effective, I guess, when it conveys like you don't really control what your opponents have. You can't really plan out what 100% what they have because you don't know like what element you're going into first. So whenever they make the next Pokemon game, because they're always going to be making more Pokemon games, I think it would be a little bit more interesting if like it was a little bit more randomized with like the gym placements and stuff like that. Like you could have a specific gym leader for each element, and it's just if you see that gym leader within your game, that's based on just kind of like the randomness of the game at that point. Like you can have all the gyms all set up, all structured. Because I mean, like at this point, a lot of the gimmicks for a lot of the gyms, especially with like the most recent games, they don't really feel like they're all that tied to the gym, honestly. And I'm talking about like Scarlet and Violet at this point, just because with Scarlet and Violet, the first gym that you can, that you're supposed to go to, has you rolling an olive into like a giant basket, and I'm just kind of like, well, what's really the benefit of that, and how does that like particularly play into like the gym aesthetic and what they're trying to do? Because like rolling an olive into a giant basket, that would kind of make sense, I guess, for a grass gym. But when it comes to a bug gym, doesn't really make sense. I get it that it's supposed to be kind of like, like a small gimmick to, I guess, like make it so that kids can get into it. But I mean, it just doesn't feel like it's really, and Olive doesn't really feel buggy. It feels more, what would I say? It's not really buggy, it's more grass themed, I guess. And then when you actually get to the grass gym, it's like, find the Sunflora throughout the town. And that's like, okay, well, that again doesn't really particularly play into the nature of the gym. So it doesn't really feel like a lot of that is really being utilized as it possibly could be. Which again is, I don't think that the games are bad, and like mechanically. I think that it's kind of a little bit more on the story writing and actually like giving the player kind of different things to like really interact with. I think. All right. Yep. So both of them are now up to the thousands to upgrade. 1,500 and what? 1,700. Yeah, just 1 or 2 levels, and that's all that it takes. Alright, well, got everyone wall. So, for this entire game, I've just constantly been pressing triangle to try to get to the menu. So I'm just so used to that. Yeah, I want to look at the spells here. Alright. So Mice has, like, all of the spells. And that's just because Mice is actually going to be the one that's, like, at the front, actually doing most of the fighting. And you can cast most of the spells. So... Okay, so Wall Plus reduces magical damage majorly, whereas... just regular Wall only reduces it minorly. Same thing with Barrier. Alright. Well, unfortunately, Natalia's mood has dropped down to 1/4 of a heart, so might not be getting as much intimacy points when it actually comes to doing the dates. But let's go ahead. We're going to take her on another date. See if we can't get her up to level 7. I guess we can take her back into the chamber here.
Do you think there is an invisible cord of fate that connects you and your true love?
Alright, so we have, I don't know what to say, or I think that's true, my past experiences tell me so. Kind of want to do B just because last time when she asked, we said that, yeah, that's why I found you. Whereas A is like, I don't know what to say here. I just don't think that that's going to go over well at all. I'm going to go with B. Hopefully that's good, because like I don't want it to be like, well, yeah, you know, my invisible cord is taking me to all the girls that I currently like, and it's just like, no, it's for one specific person. But I just kind of hope that the game doesn't interpret it that way. I don't know how the game interprets it. That's kind of the issue here.
Most certainly, Mice.
Okay, I mean, I'm not sure if that was a good response or a bad one.
I feel like being with you all day today.
Alright, so we have, I'm sorry, not today, or my heart's always with you. Definitely going with that one.
Are you telling the truth? Don't you agree that you shouldn't make promises you don't intend to keep?
Alright, so we have, I've been getting forgetful recently, ha 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 ha, or I keep my promises no matter what. Definitely going with B.
I am so impressed by your determination, Mice. I would like to learn about your childhood.
So we have, why don't we wait until we know each other better, or I don't remember anything. Well, I mean, B is just kind of a blatant lie, because everyone remembers something about their childhood, good, bad, whatever. Whereas I think A can be kind of taken as like, well, you know, like I don't know you well enough to really talk about it. And we are at intimacy level 6 with her. But I mean, like, I guess it's better than being like, yeah, you know, I don't remember anything, don't ask me about it.
Well, that's why I asked.
Yeah, that wasn't a good response.
Life.
of fun, so take it easy, or it can get tough, so we should live our lives to the fullest. So I don't know what she would like here. I think B is better because I guess it kind of reflects a little bit more on our current situation where like it's getting tough, but like we still need to live life as much as we possibly can. So I'm gonna go with B.
Oh, that's the way you think. I see. The conflict with the Emperor will only escalate. You'd better be prepared for it.
So we have yes, I know, or well, I'm a little scared. I believe A was the correct response here, so we're gonna go with A.
Do not take life for granted, and for heaven's sake, be careful. Mice, what holds a special place in your heart?
Alright, so we have my friends and the sword, or girls. I owe what I am today to girls. I'm gonna go with A here.
I see. It is very important to prize your friends and to keep up on your training as a spirit blacksmith. Share with me your true feelings of me, Mice.
Alright, so we have, I love you more than anybody in the world, or I like all the girls in the world. Well, she's asking us to share our feelings with her about her, not about all the girls in the world. So I'm gonna go with A here.
Huh? When you tell me you love me, do you mean it from the bottom of your heart?
So we have, yes, I love you, or I love all the girls. That A is the better response here.
Thank you so much. I wonder if you could live in poverty.
Alright, so we have, if there's love I can, or, life is tough when you don't have money. I guess A is better, because again, it's more like the romantic response, whereas B is like more like the realistic response. Because, again, life is difficult without money, but it's not impossible without money. It is hard, but it's not impossible. So, I'm gonna go with A.
I expected you to say that, Mice. If love means that much to you, you must focus your love on only one woman. Thank you for asking me out today. I enjoyed myself very much. Would you like to ask me anything before I go?
Alright, so we have another question here. We asked what is most important to you before, so we can ask here about her past job, advice on girls. I'm gonna go with, tell me about your job.
I am the Jewel Master. I have the ability to imbue elemental spirits into jewelry. I have trained myself in this library, reading books and expanding my knowledge so I could create better items. What, Mice? Do I have men accompany me when I imbue the elemental spirit into jewelry? You can't help but relate everything to that one thought, can you, Mice? I wonder what is going on in your head. Well, Mice, I will see you later.
Alright, so did get a good end to the date there, however, we did not get the level up. So it means that we're just gonna have to go on another date. But, I mean, like, I guess that's, like, a fair question. Because in order for us to be able to do the smithing, we have to have a girl present. Because it's, the closeness of the relationship with the girl that the spirit blacksmith can, imbue more powerful, items or, spirits into the items that they make. So I mean, like, it just kind of shows that Mice is at least thinking about training. Even though I guess like it could be kind of seen as like some kind of like jealousy.
What do you like to eat?
All right, so we have I like meat, or everything tastes great when you're around. So like B, I think it's kind of like a sweet sentiment where it's like, you know, like when I'm with you, I can eat basically anything because it's more of your company that I enjoy than the food itself. But that doesn't really like answer her question. But just saying like I like meat, like that doesn't really, you know, have any specificity as well. So I guess I'm gonna go with like the more sweet romantic response than just like I like meat.
Are you saying that just to curry favor with me, mice?
So we have yeah or nope. No, not just saying that.
Well, never mind then. I am very confident in myself, but I hope that doesn't preclude your taking good care of me.
So we have I'll do my best, or what? I'm not ready for a commitment yet. Gonna go with A here.
You seem too willing to please me. Is that because of my age? Do you dream of being surrounded by hundreds of beautiful women?
Probably not best to admit that if you actually do. So we have what? I don't know what you're talking about. Or yeah, because it's every man's dream. Yeah, you probably don't want to admit that on a date. So we're gonna go with A.
Please don't make me explain such an embarrassing thing.
You're the one that asked about it.
I would like to learn about your childhood.
Alright, so last time she didn't like when I did A, so we're gonna go with B.
You don't remember anything?
Yeah. That's not we didn't get the bad response there. So we have, yeah, I'm sorry, or well, I do remember, but I guess like B is like more of like the shy, like, oh, I do remember, but I don't really want to tell you about it kind of stuff, because like it was embarrassing when I was a kid. Whereas A is like, yeah, I don't remember anything, which is just kind of ridiculous to say. So I'm gonna go with B.
I thought so.
Yeah.
To wait for someone requires a great deal of patience.
I mean, yeah, if you're waiting for someone, you have to be patient about it. You can't just constantly rush them. So we have, I don't mind waiting for you, or if it's a problem, you don't have to wait for me. B is just kind of like mean-spirited, so I'm gonna go with A here.
I'm sorry. Do you believe in a celestial being who is responsible for all creation?
Alright, so we're gonna go with A here, because it's the angel's remark, where it's like, I'm not sure, but I do believe in angels because you're here.
Do you know what you are saying, mice? What is your opinion of Jabal?
So we have, I respect him immensely for meticulous instructions, tough training, and sincere teaching. I think B is good because it definitely gives like more descriptive words of like, well, he was meticulous, he was tough, but he was also sincere in what he was doing. As well as like providing like the things that like we feel that he was good with, which was instructions, training, and teaching. Whereas B is just like, yeah, you know, like I respect him, but I mean like that doesn't really like give any more information than like I kind of hold him in high regard. Other than that, it's just like, well, you know, like I like him, but I think B is better because it's like kind of going into like what we really liked about him.
You were under rigorous tutelage. Isn't sincere teaching a good thing?
Yeah.
Anyhow, I see that Jabbo was a good master to you. I'm an accomplished cook.
Well, when you're old, you kind of have to be, because you have to be able to kind of like take care of yourself. So, I think asking here, like, what do you like to cook, is a better response than can you boil eggs or make toast, because that's just kind of like diminishing like what they're saying. So I'm gonna go with A.
Chateaubriand, and I make a wicked royale with cheese. I had a great time. Please ask me out again, mice.
Alright, so that should be another level up there. Yep. Alright, so up to level 7. Alright, so let's check level 7, see spells or abilities we get from that. We are approaching the end of her dates. Revive. This is just a regular revive. This is not crap, but having revive is good. But we already have revive plus. But I mean, I just don't. I kind of like don't want to just like leave revive on the table. I think revive plus is better because I think it revives them with more hit points, but it is more expensive. But if I can manage to get a character up and then actively like heal the entire party, so that way like everyone gets healed, I think that's better than like using revive to heal up with a more amount of health, but then just immediately have the character die because they take like a full group party attack. But now I need to go back and farm more MP again. I'm only gonna try to get like a couple thousand. I don't really need a whole lot. And I'm not trying to like get any of my characters leveled up, because if I level them up, then it's gonna cost even more MP than what it already does to actually get them to where I want them to be. And I do kind of wonder what the game does when it comes to enemy placements. Like, does it come up and it's like, okay, so slot 1, is there a creature, yes or no? Which I guess like that would be like the initial chance of combat. Okay, moves of leveling up is fine. But if it's like, okay, so like initial character, yes, okay, get like the start fight. And then it's like, okay, secondary character, is there a character, yes or no? If yes, then it's like, okay, so then we need to roll for the third character. Is there a third character that shows up, yes or no? Yes, okay, so then it's a 3-man fight. If no, then it's only a 2-man fight. Because I'm sure like that you can notice that sometimes like it'll freeze the game for a second before it actually activates the fight. I'm just gonna go with Growl. So I'm not sure if that's like it doing like its roll to check to see, okay, yes, this is gonna be a 1 creature fight, what creature is it gonna be? Or yes, this is gonna be a 3 creature fight, what are those 3 creatures gonna be? I'm just curious of like how like the mechanics of getting the creatures actually work. Crap. Okay, well that's Nelsha with another level up, so she's now 2 levels up, plus Kylene got a level up. So now they're probably at least 1,000 each to upgrade their weapons, which is annoying. Again, I wish I could just kind of like turn off XP gain and only have it to do like turn off XP gain, even with like no other benefit of just like turning it off, would be nice at this point. Just so that my characters aren't constantly leveling up and increasing the amount of MP it costs to actually level up their gear. Because I'm like, again, I'm pretty sure that I'm really over leveled because I am one-shotting all of our main enemies here. So yeah, I need at least 2,000 to get everyone's equipment leveled up with Revive. And I'm gonna need a little bit more to be able to continue taking Natalia on dates. Again, I don't need a huge amount, I just need enough to get her up to the next level, and then we can kind of check and see what upgrades we need to do. But that does come with the problem of the more MP that I get, the more XP that I get, the more MP that a character is going to level up, and the more that it's going to cost for me to actually do anything. So I guess like 3,000 MP should be good here. I guess I could use magical to try to increase the amount of MP that I'm getting per fight. And that's just going to increase the amount of damage that I'm going to take because of enemies getting free attacks off. And I mean, it definitely feels like it takes much, much longer to try to get the one random effect of the MP doubling than it does to just run through and do Come on, dude. That's the second time in a row that you dodged. There, didn't dodge the crit though. Alright, 2,100, so probably another 1,000 to get up. I really hope this game doesn't have like one of those mechanics where if your characters get to a certain level, it's like, okay, we're gonna make like the final boss harder. But if it does that, that's gonna be kind of annoying. Especially when I'm just trying to like grind MP so that I can maximize my date potential, not to like level up. But it is kind of lucky that I'm getting all this out of the way now, because if I get all this out of the way now, I can just kind of like minimize the number of fights that I need to do before the actual boss fight, and any kind of like dungeon that I have to go through. Because again, I don't even know if like I've got, like if I'm gonna go talk to Natalia and she's like, yeah, I've got the rocket right here, or if I'm gonna talk to Natalia and she's gonna be like, well, you need to go and get the fuel for the rocket, you need to get the rocket itself, you need to go and get like the spacesuits, and there's like 6-7 more dungeons that I have to go through. I don't know if that's the case or if it's just like, yeah, you know, here it is, go fight the final boss. I'm just kind of like taking it as this is like my last chance to go through and do anything. Alright, Soshi leveling up is fine. I don't care about Soshi leveling up. I'm not going to be upgrading his weapon anyway. And another Damashi. Great. So it won't let me escape. It's going to try to put me to sleep. Yeah, put me to sleep. free damage. Gonna go ahead and heal all. Yeah, he is super fast. Alright, so their front line is asleep. Draw. Yeah, the Damashi fights are not really that much fun. Again, I talked about this last time, but you just don't get anything special out of it. That's a Weena level up. Another character that I still have to upgrade their weapon. I might get to 3,000 and it might not even be enough to upgrade all their weapons. Guess we can just go ahead and prep a heal wall again. Alright. No more level ups. It's good. Now I just have to run back and try to upgrade everyone's equipment other than using Soshi, obviously. But I think all three of those characters just got level ups, which is going to increase the cost to actually level up their weapons. But I mean, like, once I hit, like, max level, I don't have to worry about actually, like, getting a lot of MP to actually, like, level up the weapons. I just need the MP to essentially, like, switch the elements at that point. Yeah, it's another Sodina level up, but I'm pretty sure that that's fine because Sodina's already been upgraded with the revive spell. Just double check that real quick, but I'm pretty sure she's already got the revive spell. Yeah, I've already given her the revive. Alright. Oh, let's go back and see how much more MP I need. Alright, well, Metallia is up a little bit more on her mood. Yeah, I need way more than 3,000 now. Great, yep, just a couple levels, but look at this. Musa, 6,600, and Soshi is 6,100. Alright. I guess Weena, because hers is more expensive. They need to add more dud levels for Vitalia, because now I need 1,300, and then if I want to upgrade Zodina's, it's another 900, but I don't need to give her that spell. But yeah, I need another 1,300 for one more character to level up their weapon. Alright, well, let's go real quick and rest up, because I've used a whole bunch of MP. Well, I lost a whole bunch of MP because the Blade Being creature is constantly sucking out my MP every chance that it gets. And I also used up some of my summons as well.
Get up, mice!
Go ahead and throw down a quick save. Alright, that'll do it for this episode. Thank you guys very much for watching. Please feel free to like and subscribe if you so choose, and I look forward to seeing everyone in the next episode.